Next is the initiative by the federal government to formalize the activities of point of sales or POS operators in the country. The government, through the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC, launched the point of sales formalization project aiming to register POS operators as part of a broader effort to formalize businesses in Nigeria and combat fraud and financial crimes. The Registrar General of the Corporate Affairs Commission, Magaji, has disclosed that so far a total of 100,000 POS operators have officially registered their businesses with the CAC. According to the Nigeria Interbank Settlement System, there are over 1.9 million POS terminals deployed by merchants and individuals nationwide. The CAC stated that the current number of registrations is a significant shortfall compared to the 250,000 registrations that were expected from the initiative. And this initiative was launched on July 7, 2024. Well, to help us shed more light on this, we have joining us right in the studio the Registrar General of the Corporate Affairs Commission, Magaji. Thank you so much. And just to add that Magaji is also a senior advocate of Nigeria. Well, talk to us about some of these reforms you've been embarking on with this POS registration and the need to tackle, crimes through some of this as part of broader reforms to actually change the issues of business registration in the country.
Okay, thank you for having me. Good day, everyone. My name is Magaji. I'll repeat, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. I'm the Registrar General of the Corporate Affairs Commission. Upon resumption into the office as the Registrar General of the Corporate Affairs Commission, we realized that a particular sector of industry is missed out in the Nigerian setting of the economy. That is the fintech industry. By the law, we are guided by our Enabling Act. Our Enabling Act is the Company and Allied Matters Act, which made it mandatory for anyone to do any business in Nigeria. He must register with the Corporate Affairs Commission. And we realized that this point of sale, POS operators that known as POS operators in the country, virtually they are not registered and they are operating businesses. And these are financial transactions. They are doing financial transactions in the country and we don't know who are these people doing this transaction. We have instances reported in the media where ransom had been paid through POS and other
things. Very well. Amen.
So this is as part of our support to the mandate of Mr. President on the issue of security. That is why the CAC now, going by the policy guiding these operations of POS at the CBN called agent banking and our Enabling Act, we said now we take a stand that henceforth no POS will operate without registration with the Corporate Affairs Commission. We have given them a time frame to regularize themselves because by the act, they are already in disobedience of the law. They ought to be penalized. But because of the Mr. President, policy of financial inclusion and other things, now we encourage them to come and regularize themselves into the system. We gave them a period of 2 months. And we extended that period for 2 months because we need advocacy and sensitization. They should understand the importance of this registration. It's not only for the government sector, it's for them to even have themselves protected into the business. So that's what we've been doing. And unfortunately, they are not, the percentage so far, exceeded to our timeline. They are very minimal.
Yeah, 100,000 out of 1.9 million.
And it's beyond 1.9 million. The POS now, we are counting in millions now. POS operating in Nigeria, they are more than 10 million as it is now because they keep on getting licenses.
Yeah, but you were working with fintech companies that registered them directly. Shouldn't they be the ones dealing with you, providing all the data?
That is for ease of doing business in CAC. We came up with an initiative. The initiative is that we now ask them to come and integrate into our portal. We're giving them API so that the API through their respective platforms, they can register or they can regularize the already POS operators in operations. So we have given them APIs now. Nigerians can register if you are operating like, let's say, for instance, OPay or MoneyPoint. You don't need to come to our main portal to do the registration. Through your own app, through the app in OPay, you have a link that you can follow and get yourself registered.
Okay.
So that's what we did to, to ensure they have ease of doing business. They have it easy to get themselves into our system. So through that means, we are able to, by now, I think, I don't have a specific figures now, but certainly the numbers is improving every day.
All right, very interesting submission. But talk to us about the broad reforms that you're also introducing into the Corporate Affairs Commission in terms of the timeline for business registration. And of course, we've had some things that people have said that, okay, it has reduced, but what more are you doing to actually ensure that in 48 hours or maybe 72 hours, like in other climes, you can actually get a business registered?
When I came on board, I now discovered that registration in Nigeria is taking place within days. Sometimes the time frame is 24 hours, but it takes 48 hours, even beyond that 3 hours for a business name to be registered. So many things happen like this. But because CAC now under my reign and regime now is all out to support the mandate of Mr. President, then CAC now aligning ourselves with Agenda 7 of Mr. President, which is accelerating diversification through digitization, and technology and innovations. Then I now said, what is the problem? We identified the problem that any applications come to the CAC, it must be approved by human being. Imagine when you attracted applications from the fintechs that is coming in thousands because of their numbers, and we have the monopoly in the whole country. How many staff do we have? If applications come in like this, it has to be vetted by the staff to see whether this name is approvable or not.
Yeah.
Or the issue of duplications of now and similarity now. So what we did, we initiated a new portal. The new portal is called Intelligence Company Registration Portal. It came to replace the existing one, which is Company Registration Portal. Is it like
using an artificial intelligence?
Yes, this one is AI embedded. No need of human being. Once you made a request, is the system will treat everything, all the requests. We designed the system in such a way that if you are making a request to register email, like Gmail or Yahoo Mail, once you made a name request, instantly the system will now say, this name will not go, and it will suggest, it will make suggestions for you. So through that suggestions, as you pick, automatically the next page will open for you to have opportunity to fill the necessary information. And here, what we did, we have integration with NIMSI. So once you provided a NIM, automatically all your data will come up.
Oh, interesting.
So automatically we are targeting to get to have we are targeting to have a business name registration or a company registration in Nigeria in less than 30 minutes.
Wow.
That's what we're doing. So these are
but what was the timeline that you have set to do that?
Not automatically. Mr. President, he has a performance bonds with the ministers. And out of wisdom, my minister, Dr. Jumoke Oduwale, Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, she entered performance contract with us. My ministry is under the supervision of Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. So subsequently, after her contract with Mr. President, she has a contract with me. So this is my commitment this year. This year, and before
the end of 2025,
I must deliver within this second quarter. We ensure we replace our company registration portal with ICRP, so that you can have a business name registration or a company registration with less than 30 minutes in Nigeria, same as what is obtainable in UK and US.
And by doing that, you'll be cutting out the lawyers who actually make a lot of money from this
No,
business.
our activity.
How are you also working to also carry them along? I mean, people have been doing this manually for a long period of time because some of them will be out of jobs.
We must embrace changes. Now, the level of our customers, they are more knowledgeable and they are technology savvy. That is why we come up with a solution. Technology solution to our problem. We don't want to have an issue of backlog and other things. And our activities is classified into two: pre-registration and post-registration. What I'm talking about is pre-registration. Post-registration, where lawyers, our accredited agents, can have opportunity to do transaction with us. You must take a brief of someone to come and, change the name. What is post-registration activities? This comprises issue of change of name, increasing the directors, removing the directors, change the item of the business. These are issues that can take place through the agent, through our accredited agent. Yeah. And above that, part of initiative we did, this is also one of my commitment and a part of my performance contract to deliver within this year. We came up with what we call VAS. This is value added services portal. This one is like we came up with a solution to our customers where they can, have their problems solved by way of technology. We are open now. Serious big firm that they know they have arrived technologically. Yeah. Big fintech countries now, we are now calling them to come up with the request. We will get them integrated into our portal. They will have marriage of technology with the Corporate Affairs Commission. All our services that CAC can render, you can achieve that services through these law firms and through this fintech industry, like registration and validation. So you don't need, this is a solution that we are determined to deliver within this year, not even before this 2025.
Very interesting submission there. But now let's talk about a lot of businesses. It's not just registering businesses. What are the incentives that the CAC is also doing to promote businesses, apart from making the ease of doing business available? What other incentives are you putting in place to ensure? Because many people are saying that several businesses are being delisted by the CAC, and that the CAC is not, thinking of how the economy is going. All you want to do is just to delist businesses because they don't file several returns, documentation and all of that.
This is one of the areas that you must give it to Corporate Affairs Commission. Despite the challenges as a result of the economic reforms, where over a decade we have not reviewed our fees. We are still collecting availability such as CAC is 500 naira 10 years ago, when dollar rate was something. And dollar rate is now, we are still collecting that 500, just to encourage people to be on board. We discouraging the informal businesses. And out of, this is our MSMEs intervention, CAC. All MSMEs registration coming to the CAC through maiden, youth organizations and a lot of government agencies now. Yeah. We are giving this registration at a discounted rate. And we are deregistering these companies that we are seeing because this is where we can protect the system, the economy. If you allow company that is inactive, being dormant, some bad element will now utilize these dormant companies and perpetrate crime through these dormant companies. It cannot be traced. That's the reason we deregister them, because the law says we shall do it, and we are doing it. If you have a reason to believe that you are not into a business or you have stayed for less than 10 years without filing of annual returns, we register you to protect the system. Because you believe me that issue of registration in Nigeria, businesses registration, predate colonial eras. Most of the owners of these businesses registered then, they are not alive. Yeah. So if they are not alive, and these people may have they have businesses across. So people enter this regalia, they use dark companies as shell companies, dormant companies, to perpetrate crimes. That is why, for security reasons, we register them, for the sake of the Nigerian economy.
All right, as we try to close home, just talk to me about some of the incentives you're also putting in place for your staff. Because, I mean, you have offices across the country, and of course, you have staff that have been, doing things manually over time. But now you're also migrating, to a situation whereby you're working, digitally now, and it has also called for you to be able to actually make the best use of your staff very well. Are there staff reduction, staff promotion, and all of that? Incentives that you're putting in place to ensure that your staff actually work
certainly better? These are one of the, because my staff, they are the engine room for all these things. They are hardworking staff. When I came on board, I discovered that there is crisis of career progression in the Corporate Affairs Commission. Since 2021, no one has been promoted to any rank in the Corporate Affairs Commission. And this is one of the things we have cleared. To date, we have cleared all the backlog of promotions in the Corporate Affairs Commission and paid and settled all the outstanding. This is one aspect. And secondly, we have motivated our staff by giving them training, opportunity for training home and abroad. And this is another thing. And thirdly, out of convenience now, we allow people now out of convenience to reunite with their family. You stay where your family are, because we have places across the federation all to give you, so that you'll be relaxed to work with us. These are the kind of thing. And despite we are now introducing the AI, which certainly is a threat. It's a trade, because we are certainly going to
be afraid of losing their jobs.
Of course, certainly, because the redundancy is there.
Yeah.
But by the mandate given to us in the company and other matters, we have gone beyond that. We have a compliance aspect. Compliance aspect, that's why we have now converted our offices across the federation to ensure now they monitor the compliance. Because our mandate doesn't stop at registration. We have the mandate to supervise the companies we registered. We have the mandate to regulate their activities now. So these staff, we will channel their energy to appropriate quarter. This is what we've been doing.
All right, and just before I let you go, there's been this controversial issue that has brought you in the limelight, that content creators should actually get their businesses registered. And people say, why do I need to get my business registered as a content creator? So Nigerian youths are actually saying that you or yourself, you're a youth and you seem to want to take away the dollars at the end, through some of these social media organizations like Meta, X and all of that.
Social media now, it has come to stay. We used to have a situation whereby people will now be investing. When you have a money, you go and buy land to develop estate. People now buy space, develop solution in the technology base. You see someone has a followership and he earned millions of naira every day and the economy is not benefiting. And is operating within the space of Nigeria. And what we are saying, it is even beneficial to them more than to the government. When you have, of course, because when you have a name, you are thriving with the name, you have some followership with that name. If another person, nothing has stopped another person to claim that name and do other things. And security, if someone commits a crime with that particular name that you've been using, the security will start chasing you. But once you have yourself registered, it's like you have secured that name. You register them. Any person that uses that name.
Under what category? Is it sole proprietorship? You're registering that name, or how? What platform?
We have classes of registration. They can register just mere business name. When you have mere business name, you have this name. This name is for you to do your business, not a company. You just secure this name for yourself. When you secure that name for yourself, if you are secured that name, no one will now come and come and claim that road and do rubbish.
Well, just your last words, to a lot of companies and individuals coming to Nigeria to come and invest, because the idea of President Bola Tinubu's government is to ensure that when investors come and they want to open businesses, that your organization hastens up the process of business registration for them. So for foreigners coming to do business in Nigeria, what do you have to say to them?
No, certainly we have come up with some initiative whereby we are taking our registration to the doorstep of foreign investors. Instead of opening our offices across the globe, CAC London office or Dubai, we are now open to recognize super accredited agent. These are some of fintech companies or their law firms, big companies that have arrived. We have given them opportunity that you can, consume the services CAC is rendering. So we have them in abroad. We have started receiving requests from the abroad, let's say from the UK. So these are the people that can give these such CAC services in UK jurisdiction. We have others in US, we have in Dubai. So we are expanding technology-wise now. So once
so
we
don't need to come here physically
from there. This is we're taking it to them now. And within this, as I'm telling you, it's my commitment as a performance contract with the ministry now to deliver even CAC app for convenience purposes now. Anywhere you go, you can download in a Google map or you can download in a mobile app, whatever, just to have yourself have transaction with CAC at convenience.
All right, we must thank you so much, Hussaini Ishaq Magaji is the Senior Advocate of Nigeria and the Registrar General of the Corporate Affairs Commission. We must thank you so much. And you keep talking about performance contract. I hope you're not so much under pressure to deliver.
No, this is This is this is a serious government.
All right.
If they give you assignment, you must deliver.
Okay.
And that's where we are moving towards to deliver what we have.
All right, we can only wish you well, and I know that there's an effort to register by 3 million businesses in the country, and of course, especially the smaller one, PoS businesses have been registered, and of course, that's the much we can take on this edition of This Week. Thanks to our production team here in Abuja, Lagos, and London. Do join us same time next week for another exciting edition. I'm Sam Nasambo.